Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? We're gonna do another Tales from the Kitchen video. Again, when it's coming to these videos, if you have any questions about hi cat, about the videos or any ideas and questions you might want to have me answer, feel free because I'm always happy to tell stories that you might actually be interested in. And I do have lots of these coming up. And if you're wondering by this atmosphere, I'm going to talk about a place called Festa Ristorante, that I worked at for I think about a year with a friend of mine. I haven't talked to in years, but we were good friends at that time. And I was there for about a year. And the restaurant, well, it was from what I could tell was haunted. And I I am someone. I do believe in ghosts and spirits and things. Doesn't mean you have to, and I don't believe in it zealously. So don't think I'm trying to push that on anybody. That's just my opinion, just things I've experienced. And in this particular restaurant, we experienced like some pretty spooky things. Mostly me, because the thing about this place, I work there. I lived right across the street when I worked there, and oh my face is itchy. But anyway, yeah, so I worked there and lived across the street. That's what I'm trying to say, sorry. And a lot of times I would go in the middle of the night and just get stuff done for the next day. I didn't work crazy hours, but sometimes I was just bored sitting around and I'd just go back into the restaurant. I had the key. I was the chef there, so I would often go in and just do prep work, do a few things, and couple hours, just for a couple hours, blast some music. It was in a little plaza, and there wasn't any residential places inside the building, no apartments above or anything like that. So I could make as much noise as I wanted. It didn't matter. And the thing is, you'd go there at night, and it was a little bit spooky because when you went in the front door, you had to walk through the entire dining room in the dark to get to the light switch. And as I've said many times before, my apartment I think is haunted. I know it's haunted. I got pictures, and I'm going to be doing a video about that soon. My jacket's all weird looking. But I always hear weird noise in the kitchen. No, it sounds like the cupboards are opening and closing, but I've never actually seen anything like that. But anyway, back to the restaurant. So I go in the middle of the night. Now, a little backstory on the place. Before I was working there, the owner Frank, who I'd worked with at a couple other restaurants, again, good guy, great guy, and so this was the third restaurant he owned, and he owned it with original partner Pierangelo, and then he bought and a third partner. Sorry, his name was Caesar, and I think Piero or sorry Frank and Caesar bought Piero out. If I'm not, I don't know the whole story because that happened before I started working there, and Caesar had a wife, and unfortunately she got sick and passed away. Now I don't remember her name, but I knew her name at the time, and I always kind of made the connection that maybe it was her, which in a way doesn't make sense. You think if you passed away, you'd be with the one you loved. But that was the only connection I had with why there might be a ghost there that I would know. Maybe somebody else passed away in the building. There was an addiction place above us. So who knows? I don't know the history of the building. It's not an old building or anything. But anyway, I would go there at night. And out of the blue, sometimes it's a kitchen, it's warm. I got the music going, and suddenly you would just get cold. Like you would just get like this cold chill over you, and it was eerie, and you always felt like somebody was like right there watching you. It wasn't. It's like almost you get that sixth sense where someone's looking. You look over, and there's someone actually watching you. It was like that. It was creepy as hell. And this is like sometimes 1, 2, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially if I didn't have to work the next day, I would go there and get a bunch of things done and clean up, and then we'd be closed for. I think we closed on Mondays. I think if I remember correctly, and I would do stuff maybe Sunday night for Tuesday, just have it all out of the way, so when we come in on Tuesday, there's literally nothing to do. So anyway, you would get this cold chill just over you for no reason, and then it would go away. And then a while back, it would come a little while later, it would just sort of randomly come back. Doors weren't open. It wasn't like always winter, you know, and that was just the small things. Other times you look over now, the way the kitchen was set up, the stoves were here, and the window was behind you, as pretty much in every kitchen. So above the stoves, we hung all the frying pans and all the utensils on nails and various things. Just that was just an easy way to store them. And also, if you needed it, it was like right there. You didn't have to go digging around for it. It was just handy. You just grabbed it. And then randomly, out of the blue, they would just fall down. You'd be working, and it'd be again 2 o'clock in the morning. No one's there except for myself. Got the music going, and just like bang, jump, holy shit, and you jump. It was almost more playful, like someone was just trying to annoy you. So I'd put it back, and then a little while later, something else, another one would fall down. It wouldn't necessarily be the same one, but it would fall down, and it was eerie as hell. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? And but the one thing that made me really like, I could always chalk that up. Maybe it was a vibration. It's a young street, so it's a busy street even at that time. Sometimes a lot of cars are going by. Maybe a truck vibrated it and it wasn't hanging on the nail properly. Where you going, Lemmy? Hi. Want to come say hi? You actually want to come say hi? Hold on. I think she actually might want to say hi for a change instead of we gonna get the crazy noises. Let's see. Oh, oh yeah. Who's that? Who's that? Yeah, that's you. Okay, you go do. I think you're gonna go have a snack. You go eat. But but the one thing that really got my attention is you could literally hear the chairs in front of the bar area sliding on the floor. Not like someone dragging them right across the floor, but just little like, you know. And I go out and they were literally, if they weren't pulled away from the bar, they were turned on an angle, like someone had turned it and sat down or something. So it was just random stuff like that. Things falling down, cold breezes, furniture. A former owner's wife had passed away, sadly. Um, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's just the only connection I can make. And so it was always here, but I never felt threatened because I would always go back. If anything, I'd hear the chairs going and I would turn the music up because I had a old 90s ghetto blaster kind of thing that I took the speakers off and hung them on the ceilings. And when we weren't open, we would just blast music in the kitchen and do our work. But I would just turn the music up because it would creep me out a little bit, but nothing ever physically happened to me. I was never hit or hurt or scratch marks and things you always see in these ghost videos. But it was a little bit spooky. But the one funny thing that did happen is one day I was there. It wasn't as late. And Frank, the owner, he didn't live near the restaurant. The restaurant was in Aurora, and he lived, I think, in Toronto. And so Aurora's just, north of Toronto. But just to give an idea of where it is location wise. But one day I didn't know he'd come in. I had the music going. I came in and did some prep, and I come in, or I turn off my music. I'm done, and it wasn't late. It was probably around midnight. I think I left and I came home. Oh no, that's not what happened. I was coming into the restaurant, and he'd already left, and I guess he'd forgotten something, and he drove all the way back, and I didn't know, and I'd already gone home, done some stuff, and then come back to the restaurant because there was some prep I wanted to do. So I come back, unlock the doors, and I look and I notice the alarm wasn't on anymore, and I just assumed I didn't put it on for some reason. So I walk right past him because, like I said, it's black, all the lights are off, and I guess he was on his way out, and I don't know if he did this on purpose or not, but he wasn't standing in front of the door, so I walk in, and all I hear is, "Hey, Roy," and holy shit, I nearly jumped out of my skin. I turned around. What the fuck? It scared the hell out of me. And Frank wasn't always like the cheeriest guy. He was a nice guy and he got along. He liked to go out for drinks every once in a while, and he was good that way. But sometimes he was just kind of down. But so when he said it so like, "Hey, Roy," and when I reacted, he turns around and he's just got this big smile on his face. Now he's a big guy. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4", maybe probably about 6'4" anyway. He's a big, tall guy. So I turned, and he's just wearing his regular clothes. It's dark, so I just see this big, giant person over there, and I'm just staring at. And then I went and turned, like I realized it was him. I turned on the light and he's just this ear to ear smile, which is, you didn't see that on him a lot. So it was actually really good and really funny. But anyway, that's just my little story of the spooky restaurant. Cat's doing something spooky here in the dark sometimes. And she's running around. But anyway, yeah, so that was, like I said, my story of working in a spooky haunted restaurant. It wasn't scary. It was just kind of eerie and spooky at times. I never felt threatened, and my reason for leaving that restaurant was actually just more of a convenience thing. And Frank ended up selling the restaurant a short time later and moving on to other things and better things for himself. And yeah, I think he was happy to get out of that industry, and good for him. Miss him, good guy. But I mean, that's gonna be it for this video. Tales from the Kitchen number. I think this is 4. I've only done a couple of them. So anyway, if you could, if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to subscribe, I'd really like that. That'd be fantastic. And I guess until the next one. Bye. I said bye. Why aren't you turning off? Okay.